Good afternoon, dear students. Today's our new topic is lexical and grammatical cohesion. In this lesson, we will speak about the meaning of the lexical and grammatical cohesion, and also we will watch a video about the meaning introduction to the cohesion. Let's go. Grammatical and lexical cohesion. What is cohesion? The concept of cohesion cannot be separated from the concept of the text. A text can be spoken or written that does form a unified whole. What differ text and non-text lies on the texture, and this texture is constructed by the cohesive relations between its linguistic features. Further, Bigord and Dressler define a text as a communicative utterance which meets 7 standards of textuality. And if we speak about grammatical cohesion is constructed by the grammatical structures each opponent tie each other. Haldane and Hassan classified grammatical cohesion into 4 major classes: reference, substitution, ellipsis, and conjunction. Reference occurs when one item in the text points to another element for its interpretation. And if we look at this example, daughter, Mom, what do you think about this dress? Mom, oh yeah, oh dear, I think that's too short for you. Would you try this? Showing another dress she is holding. That refers to the dress that the daughter is fitting in it, and it is presented within the text. However, this refers to the exaphoric reference, and which is not presented in the text. Endophora consists of anaphora and cataphora. Anaphora refers to the presupposition, something that has gone before, while cataphora refers to the presupposed elements immediately following. In the sample, you can see the connections as the reference with other types of references. And the type of reference, Haldane and Hassan. Anaphora, the man is living alone. His wife left him for 9 years. In the sentence, his and him is anaphora which refers to the man. Without having a presupposed clause, the man is living alone. We cannot decide what his or him referred to, because we need to look back to the sentence gone before this anaphoric. And if you look at this one, cataphora, he's a superstar, he's the best man in his era. Let's welcome Justin Bieber. In the sentence, he is cataphoric to the presupposed subject Justin Bieber. We need to look forward to the following sentence to reveal what he refers to. And the next one, in English, these referenced items are personals, demonstratives, and comparatives. And if we look at the personal reference, I never met him before. My friend said he is a kind and helpful professor. I wish I can see Professor William soon. Those three thieves, they were shot by the sheriff. Demonstrative reference. There I was born and grew up. There I met him, my beloved one. There we raised our kids. They are in a small town called Slavi. In a fittings room, Dr. Mom, what do you think about this dress? Oh dear, I think that's too short for you. Would you try this? Showing another dress. This is a demonstrative reference. Substitution and ellipsis is quite similar. Substitution is a replacement of one item by another, and ellipsis is an omission of an item. Essentially, the two of the same ellipsis can be interpreted as that form of substitution in which the item is replaced by nothing, but the mechanisms involved in the two are rather different, and also, at least in the case of ellipsis, fairly complex. Kinds of substitution: nominal substitution, verbal substitution, and clausal substitution. Nominal substitution may be one, same, verbal do, did, clausal so, not. Let's look through examples. Nominal substitution. And my axe is too blunt. I must get a sharper one. Verbal substitution. Do you think John already knows? I think everybody does. Causal substitution. If you have seen them so often, of course you know what they are like. I believe so, Alice replied thoughtfully. Ellipsis. Ellipsis is a process in which one item within a text or discourse is omitted or replaced by nothing. Here is given difference between ellipsis with reference and substitution is presented. Here is given types of conjunctions: additive conjunctions, adversative conjunction, causal conjunctions, and temporal conjunctions. You can see a lot of types of conjunctions here. And next one is adversative conjunction also was given, and causal conjunction also given sample examples. And next one is this is given types of adverbs: simple adverbs, compound adverbs, and prepositional adverbs. Lexical cohesion. So lexical cohesion deals with the meaning in the text. This is a cohesive effect achieved by the selection of vocabulary. Reiteration is a repetition of a lexical item or occurrence of synonym of some kind in the context of reference. You can see the reiteration, example for reiteration in this example. Type of lexical cohesion here is given. Now, let's watch a video about introduction to the cohesion. Let's watch.
Hello again. John Kotnerowski here once more in another video for the National University of Science and Technology, USMC's Academic Writing Center. We began the series with a video that provided a brief introduction to the field of academic writing. In this next video, I will be talking about the importance of cohesion in academic writing. To do this, I will try to answer the following questions. 1. What is cohesion? 2. Why is it important for writing to be cohesive? And 3. What are some ways to make one's writing more cohesive? Part 1. What is cohesion? Cohesion refers to the way we use vocabulary and grammatical structures to make connections between the ideas within a text. Cohesive devices are the words and strategies we use to make the meaningful connections between ideas within a text clear to the reader. Cohesion is a vitally important characteristic of good academic writing because it promotes clarity. The sentences and paragraphs within an academic text should all be related to one another. Since English is a writer-responsible language, it is the job of the writer to make these connections between sentences and paragraphs as clear as possible. One way to do this is through the effective use of cohesive devices. There are many different ways to make your writing more cohesive. Cohesive device number 1, pronouns. One way to promote cohesion in your writing is to use different kinds of pronouns. Pronouns are helpful because they let writers avoid repetition by referring to something that has already been mentioned. For example, my professor's lecture today was quite interesting. It was about the poetry of T.S. Eliot. We can see in this sentence that the pronoun it is used to refer to my professor's lecture in the previous sentence. By referring to the lecture with the pronoun it, the writer creates a connection between the two sentences. Cohesive device number 2, lexical signposts. Another way to make your writing more cohesive is by using words that make specific kinds of connections. I call these words lexical signposts. Just like road signs help control the flow of traffic and make what could be a chaotic situation more manageable, writers can use certain words and phrases to help organize their writing and guide their readers. There are many different categories of lexical signposts. Some of them include Words and phrases used to make lists, like first, second, third. There are also words and phrases used to give examples, like, for example, for instance, namely, and in other words. There are words and phrases used to generalize, like in general, on the whole, for the most part, and words and phrases used to show a result or a consequence, such as so, therefore, accordingly, consequently, thus, and hence. Finally, we have words and phrases used to summarize, like in conclusion, to conclude, overall, and words and phrases used to express an alternative, like alternatively, on the other hand, rather, and another possibility would be. Using these words and phrases effectively helps the reader better understand the meaning and relationships between information and a text. There are a wide variety of lexical signposts at work in the following paragraph. To begin, writing well is a multi-step process. First, a writer should brainstorm to help generate ideas. Second, writing an outline is important because it allows the writer to organize his or her thoughts. Moreover, outlines help to ensure that the writer includes all the necessary information. After outlining, the writer should create the first draft of his or her work. Then, he or she should get feedback on the draft from a classmate. Another possibility would be asking a teacher for suggestions for improvement. Finally, after several drafts, the writer will produce a final version for submission. Cohesive device number 3, repeating keywords. Sometimes it is helpful to repeat keywords throughout the course of a paragraph. To do this, you do not have to use the exact same word. Take a look at the following example. Many problems in the economy are impacting the restaurant industry. The factor responsible for most of these negative impacts is the economic recession. Due to weak economic conditions, the U.S. food service industry revenues will only rise 2.5% in 2008, compared to the 4.6% increase in 2007. The National Restaurant Association reports this to be among the poorest sales performances by the domestic restaurant industry in nearly 4 decades. In response to the weak economic conditions, restaurants are increasing prices only enough to offset higher costs rather than to expand profit margins. That example comes from Basham 2008b. In this example, we see the repeat of words that refer to the state of the economy. It's important to note that these words do not only refer to the economy, they also give qualitative information about its relatively poor condition. Cohesive device number 4, anaphoric nouns. One final way to show the connection between different ideas in a paragraph is through the use of anaphoric nouns. Take a look at the following example. Reports of original work became too full of jargon to be understood even by trained scientists who were not working in the particular field. This situation persists today. In this example, the phrase, "this situation," refers to and summarizes the information in the previous sentence. The phrase, "this" or "these," followed by a noun such as claim, example, observation, explanation, or view, is a useful way to highlight the connection between two sentences or ideas. Cohesive device number 5, reviewing your work. The final way to make your writing more cohesive is to review it multiple times before you submit it. Even the best writers very rarely write something perfectly the first time. The more you review what you've written, the better you will understand the connections between ideas. With this greater understanding, you can use some of the cohesive devices mentioned previously to highlight and clarify the connections for your readers. Cohesion is an important quality of effective academic writing because it ensures that ideas are properly connected and that the reader can clearly observe these connections. There are many different ways to promote cohesion through the use of cohesive devices like the ones mentioned in this video. However, this is not an exhaustive list. I encourage you to do a little exploring on your own to try and find some more information about cohesive devices. I hope this video has helped improve your understanding of what people mean when they talk about cohesion in academic writing.
So it's the end of the video. I think it's very understandable and very clearly video for understanding the what does it mean cohesion in writing. And I think it can also help you to improve your English writing and writing in essays. So thank you for your attention. Our lesson is over. Goodbye.